Okay, well, apparently it's time to answer that burning 3-day-old question. What would happen if you chained the chains and just kept going? So I already went through all of my big hooks, my big boys. Here's all of my big uns. So I already played with this one, and it works okay for chaining the chains, but I'm going to give myself a little bit of an advantage here. This one here cooks through the chains. Now, it does make them slightly looser, which is fine. In fact, it's preferred because I want to try to chain these chains. I want to see how far can I go. And I bear in mind, I don't have the biggest hook I got. I do believe these 3 right here are my biggest. A Q, a mystery, but probably a Q. I think these 2 are both Qs. And then my biggest is, I think the biggest out there is a size 20. So this is a 19 millimeter. So I can only go so far as my hooks will allow me to go before I am doing this by hand. So I do want this to be a little loose so that you see how stiff this is? That's going to be harder to work with as this gets thicker. This is going to be much easier to work with. So I'm going to go with the 12 millimeter. This is a tulip. I bought this ages ago. I just made a whole video all about my big hooks, and I thought to myself, nobody cares about that. So you didn't get to see me explain that I bought this like almost 4 years ago, back whenever I was on my original channel, and I never used it. I still have the box. My old hooks are covered in dust because they haven't been used. All right, here we go. I am going to not worry about counting the chains this time, but I am going to keep track of how long does it take to chain a ball of chains. Because, well, we like timers. We like that sort of thing. So here we go. Again, music. I don't have a variety of music, so you're going to hear some repeats. But here we go. Chaining the chains, not worrying about counting. I can't wait to see how far I go with this. How far I can go with this. And I am thoroughly intrigued by making just a cake of chains, as I have here, for projects like baskets and rugs and, I don't know, handbags and things like that. I think it's just so neat. The texture is really neat, really neat. Like crimped looking. I like it. So here we go. I got to go turn my air conditioner on, so you will hear, Margaret or Sally typing away, typing that novel away in the background, because that's what my air conditioner sounds like. There's something deep in the air duct that rattles around. It's likely just a loose piece that rattles around, and it taps and clacks as it goes. I've been living here in this house for about 5 years, so I don't even hear it anymore. So I'm always like, what do they mean? What's that? Oh, the air conditioner. Right. I just don't hear it anymore. I'm like ear blind to it. Blind as a deaf bat when it comes to that rattling sound. I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to go turn my air conditioner on, and I'll be right back. To pan out a bit so you could see, but now this is the whole ball. Here is what this braid looks like, and it's really nice actually. Let's take it a little further. Yes, I'm not going to worry about timers anymore. I no longer have any hooks big enough, so I got to do this by hand, which I've never done before. Literally never. This sucker is heavy actually. It's got some, look at this, it's got some weight to it. Okay, so I know I need to start with a slip knot. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? That was not a slip knot. All right. Here we go. It's like intestine. It looks like, I know I just ruined this whole thing, didn't I? I just ruined this whole thing by calling it that. But that's what it looks like to me. It's just not red, which is great. Thank goodness I didn't choose to do this in red. Okay, so that's how that's turning out. Yeah, never done this before, but pictured it in my head, seemed fairly simple in my head. I'm glad it's turning out to be fairly simple, you know, IRL. I know there's a lot of people that do this hand knitting with the huge material, which is really cool. And I've seen people do that before, like on YouTube shorts and stuff. All right, should I keep going? This is what we have now. That's that whole skein. Do I keep going? Do I dare? I think not. I think this is as far as I can go, guys. She can't give her any more, Captain. Let's see if I pull this here and I hold it, right? I can't. That's it. I'm not bored anymore, okay? Bye. To give this video a like if you got some lulls out of it. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see some real crochet, some vintage and antique crochet. And be sure to check out my mystery pattern playlist. If you've never been to my channel before, I make mystery patterns. We pluck numbers from a bowl. I have a stack of patterns that I've had the titles, the pictures, any items, any descriptive words within the pattern have all been removed. So all we have are the plain text of patterns from the 1840s all the way up to the 1980s. Those patterns are a lot of fun. We won't know what it is until we're done, but we usually guess about halfway through. This was an interesting, very interesting thing to do here. I'm kind of tempted to take it all apart and cake that ball back up and continue to use it for something a little more useful than this, although this is pretty cool. I mean, it just looks like a braid. It's very cool. But yeah, okay, that's it. I'm not bored anymore. So I'm going to get back to work. Now, the next video you're going to see is a very, very cool vintage crochet, possibly antique crochet find that I am calling a living pattern book, and you'll see why. So in a few days from now, or a couple of days from now, keep your eyes out for that video. After that, we should have some actual things to make. Okay, guys, I love you lots. I'll see you real soon. Bye. Just real quick, I wanted to show you that I went ahead and balled it back up because this is going to be very useful, and it wasn't useful in the way I left it. Now it's more useful.